And I only am escaped to tell thee, Job 1:19. The drama's done. Why then does one step forth? Because one did survive the wreck. These are the opening lines of Moby Dick, or The White Whale, written with a crow quill pen in 1851 by Herman Melville. I'm Barry Brown, and I too have written a novel called Backlight.
Dawn on another boring Los Angeles perfect weather day. While the country is drenched in freezing rain, buffeted by fierce winds, blanketed with snow, or stifled by drought, Zalman Moskowitz falls. His body accelerates one gravity, 9.81 meters per second at sea level. Obeying the immutable law Galileo discovered in 1602, 1 second into the descent from his 15th floor Wilshire Boulevard duplex, he is traveling 22 miles an hour, faster than his beloved E55 AMG Mercedes, after 1 second hard on the throttle. Surging electric impulses in Zalman's prefrontal cortex create a rush of brilliant images, announced by spherical music not of this world. His life flashes along optic nerves, the oversaturated color surprising even him. So these are my final moments. Codes as the resonant gong he once heard in a Balinese temple, accompanied by an uncanny close-up of a small, perfectly formed nipple of an Indonesian dancer he had sex with for one crazy night in Jakarta 20 years ago. In slow motion dream, Zalman falls past the terraced living room of the dancing Valencias directly beneath. Locked in a formal tango, Charles and Vicky stand toe-to-toe in bathrobes behind double panes, screaming in voices he often heard clearly through the thin floor. Now he understands who those angry cries in tempo with wild music had been. Had he realized how shoddy the construction was under all the flash, he would have bought into an older building. Falling, Zalman thinks of himself as Sam, his mother's familiar form, Americanized. This new identity was created when he was old enough to realize the name his mother gave him in ancient Jewish tradition, Hannah's dead father's name, might affect his ability to earn. When he got a glimpse of this incredible potential income, he legally changed his name to Rock because it sounded powerful. For the opposite reason, ignoring the Goliath myth, Sam named his first child David, striking a mild note he unconsciously believed would never threaten. His bulging eyes flash on a reflected figure, flailing arms and legs outstretched, turning ridiculously in the slipstream, hair flung out in an incongruous silver halo, as if he had already become an angel. Not likely. Sam had been told many times by his father that a confused young clerk at Ellis Island, who spoke no Yiddish, arbitrarily altered his grandfather's name to Moskowitz. That could be at least pronounced in English. The falling man imagines he sees his mother's terrified face when she arrived in New York, a 15-year-old greenhorn, fresh off the boat after months walking across Europe. And he wants to weep. But his tear ducts, paralyzed by air blast, have closed tight. Sam feels no fear as he accelerates past terraced apartments and curtains whose residents are strangers. He nodded to in the elevator. Moving almost 50 miles an hour now, he feels no sensation of speed. His mind floods with a frame-by-frame montage, an insane assemblage of lips, tits, asses, pubic hair, and moist pink openings. Rushing air mingles with cries of delight, agony, frustration, and boredom. So many women. Sam was 13, working late at his father's sweatshop, counting precious money, fingering each bill intimately, while staring at the lush, forbidden Bristol of the last operator as she bent over her singer. Sam repaired the old machines, charmed the girls into taking late payment when cash was short, and made everyone laugh when the work piled so high it defied the delivery schedule. She smiled, stood, came to him, lifted her voluminous skirts, and in moments her groin effortlessly swallowed his rigid schwanz. The wet, enveloping warmth, this first time, so stunned him it was all over in an instant. Money and pussy. After that revelation, Sam stooped every willing Shauna Madel in the shop. Frequently he has had sex with thousands of women, whose most nameless, entering sometimes 2 or 3 different vaginas a day. He didn't miss one. Not even the mother of his children. No, certainly not her. Sam drops past a terrace where some fool, violating building protocol, draped a towel to dry. Didn't they realize how it made every other tenant look? He is startled to discover that this simple sight, overriding fear, enrages him. The wind ballooning his beautiful clothes rolls his body so he looks up at the brightening, impossibly blue sky. The words of the terrible curse he often heard his father say when he was cheated out of a few dollars repeat over and over, gay and that in Yiddish, drop dead, but meaning so much more. A vile curse that disintegrates fresh, crunches bones, and wipes the hated one from the face of the earth. Gay and dret, Sam screams as he falls. Gay and dret. And he knows to whom it's directed. Those damned kids of his crawled out of the closet and they saw. They saw. He hasn't thought of this for years, but it's now all he thinks about. The indignity. How dare they invade my privacy at such an intimate moment? Sea level, terminal velocity for a flailing human body, arms and legs seeking traction in thin air. When this parasitic drag matches gravity's acceleration about 130 miles an hour, now, after 4 seconds, Sam falls faster than the speed limit on most interstates. Still, he feels no sensation of speed. He is pleased it will end this way, soon. No waiting for the great mystery to unfold, no more idiots harping about pointless deals, no more empty victories, no more self-satisfied, untalented asses to kiss and sterile tits to suck, no more smiling lunches with 20-something power brokers glued to their cells for news of someone else's outrageously inflated feature film disaster. He would no longer be forced witness to pathological jealousy and self-loathing. Receive no more empty awards for creating mindless crap. Never again.